to Drunken Adventurers unboxing Conan Miniature board game from Monolith. I'm Ben, this is Ash, and let's get started, let's open it up. So,
what have we got?
Let's get all this off. There we go. Some fantastic art on the front of it. And if we spin it round, we can then see the contents. Now there's over 70 miniatures in this game, and there's 2 double-sided gaming boards as well. But yeah, we'll get more into it as we open the box up. Now Ash, you haven't actually seen much of this game, have you?
Nope, not at all.
So no idea how it plays or anything like that?
Nope. It'll be interesting to find out.
Fresh box smell. It's good.
Oh yes.
Okay, so straight off the bat then, we've got the Overlords Book and the Heroes Book.
Some hero cards by the look of it.
Yeah. So these appear to be quite good quality.
Cardstock's incredibly well made.
Nice glossed pages. Nice
Even
big font.
as well.
We'll put those to one side. Let's have a look at those. What have we got?
Ah, there we go.
Okay, so we've got the hero boards, and we've got Conan, Billet, Shevatas, and Hadrafus.
Quite a few good looking ones in there.
So there's just 4 heroes in the base game. And then we've also got some reference sheets. I was a bit worried then because I saw it was in French, but they're actually double-sided. English on one side, French on the other.
We've also got another card here. I'm assuming this is the stages or the chapters as to how we work through them and where we end up by the look of it.
I mean, that to me strikes me as a movement tracker. Well, not a movement tracker, sorry, a turn camera. Again, double-sided, which is nice. Now we're getting to the best bit. Oh.
Some gems, some blue and red ones. So I'm going to assume that blue are magic and red is your stamina or your health.
Yeah, so from what I've seen throughout the Kickstarter campaign, from the playthrough videos, the blue ones are used by the heroes and they represent energy. And the idea is, if we, let's go grab a hero card, so we'll grab Conan. The idea is he's got 11 energy there, so he would have
11 blue.
11 blue in there. And from what I've gleaned from the playthrough videos is that if he wants to use one of these skills, or an attack, for example, attack there costs 5, he'd actually move 5 energy into this fatigue pool, I guess. And then at the end of the turn, they'll get so much of that back. You can also, from what I gather, throw extra in for modifiers on your attacks. But obviously the more you spend, the less you're going to have in following turns, because you only recover some of that at the end of the turn. And I believe that when you take damage from here, and it'll go into there, and those can never be recovered, from what I gather. And the red ones are for the Overlord player, and do essentially the same thing.
Nice, different coloured dice. I'm going to assume that would match the skills that they have.
Yeah, so we can also see on the hero panels that there are different coloured dice for certain actions. Interestingly, we have some symbols on there.
Didn't roll too well.
Which I'm going to assume actually is to actually distinguish the colours for the colourblind, actually, which I think is a nice touch. So the red ones have got circles, the orange have got diamonds, and the yellow have got triangles. So we don't see very many games actually accommodating for the colourblind. I mean, I could be wrong, that might not be what they're for, but I'm assuming they are. And we can see there's like battle axes on them, which I'm assuming are the number of successes that you roll. So, nice custom dice there.
It's all about like using a D6 as a D3 by the look of it. Rather than having 1 to 6, you've got 1, 2, 3 and blanks.
Yeah, there appears to be... Oh, actually no, there's 3 blanks on a yellow, 1 blank on a red, and 2 blanks on an orange, so...
I'm assuming then that must be to do with what dice you roll for what. So if you look at Conan again, he's got orange in his range, defence and magic. I'm assuming that is, but he has a red dice for his attack.
So his strength is in attack, because that's obviously the best dice with only 1 blank. And he's mediocre at defence. And obviously yellow's going to be the poorest of them all.
I'm assuming that's magic anyway. Looks like magic. Little hand with a symbol in it.
Not sure. Okay, so what have we got next?
Some cards.
Yeah, we've got some cards. I won't open them up, but they look to be equipment cards. We've got some leather armour there. We've got some nice art there of the Conan logo on the back of them. Do you know what? Let's open it.
I do like to live dangerously.
Okay, so yeah, we've got some
it's
leather armour, chainmail,
equipment, I think, by the look of it, and then you'll have some other bits in the background. So
yeah, we've got loads of different item cards there, and
look at these are spell cards in the purple. So you got like Lightning Storm, Bore's Rage, Set's Bite, Kiss of Death, Mitra's Halo, Mind Control. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Look at all these ones will be your magic cards.
Yeah. Interestingly, the items they have a weight value on them, and also a dice if it's defence or weapon. I presume that what benefit it gives you. So this one, leather armour there, it's got a weight of 2, and it rolls the yellow dice.
In these ones, there's a like a set value in the corner, if you see. So there's like 1 out of 3, 2 out of 4. So I don't know whether that's how many energy gems you have to set aside to use it, or how many times you get to use it, or anything like that, really. But there's a nice little the 2-headed snake on the back of them as well. It's quite nice. So
you've got a blacksmith on the back of the equipment cards.
Can't really distinguish between them.
Okay, and now my favourite bit, the miniatures. And the first of which.
It's a fucking huge Hydra basilisk type thing.
Giant snake. Let's get this open. Oh, now that is an awesome miniature.
Well made. Really well made.
Yeah. And a great pose as well. Yeah. Very nice. And that appears to be it for that plastic tray. And then we've got a big box of what I'm assuming is miniatures.
More miniatures. Oh yes. Oh, lots of miniatures.
Okay.
Just shuffle this round.
Okay, so what we've got here is okay, so we've got a hero miniatures there.
So you'll have like Conan.
Yeah. And then we've got some boss miniatures, I'm assuming. And
was this Conan?
No, this one's Conan.
No. Also was a sword and a bloke who looked massive.
Yeah. The sculpt's quite nice. I know there's some concerns around the Kickstarter campaign about the quality of the sculpts, but I have to say, actually looking at them in person, they look really good. Okay, and under there we've got some base markers. I'll get into what they're used for in a little bit. And then we have this plastic tray, which is known as the Book of Skelos, for those who know your Conan lore. Again, I'll get into what exactly this does after we have a look at the remaining miniatures. So we've got one more tray of miniatures.
Just like your general sort of enemies by the look of them.
And then in there we've got some cardstock.
Oh, something popped out.
So
these look like, well, there's a bit of everything really.
Yeah, so what these represent is the miniatures that the Overlord player will have under their command. you'll also notice that they've got different coloured borders on there. So when the Overlord player is playing, they'll be able to use these on the miniatures that correspond to these, because the Overlord player, for example, he could be playing with just pirates, and he's got 4 lots of pirates, but so he knows which ones he's activated out of them, they'll all have corresponding colours on their bases.
Is there any difference in skills between them, with them being different colours, or...?
No, I mean, my understanding is
just the case that
they're all the same.
Like in this one, as an example, you would be using... I'm trying to think things like if you had the giant snake plus the pirates, so you'd be able to have the green pirates rather than...
No, as from what I understand, they're just to show, they're just to differentiate between different groups, because you can choose to have all those under your command, I'm assuming, or something like that, or different missions, just because each time you use one of these, they cost a certain amount of energy to use.
Right.
And the way it works with the Book of Skelos, if I punch a few of these out, just punch a few of them out, and punch these out. Just an example, I won't go overboard.
Punch it all out. Alright, so the Overlord is going to always use that.
Yeah, the Overlord will always use this, the Book of Skelos, to track all of his actions. From what I understand, if we put token 1 in there, token 2 in there, token 3 in there, token 4, token 5, and token 6. We'll fill them all out. What would happen is these little tiles would go on this little track. Like so. And I think something fell out of one of the cards in here. Yeah, so these here go in there. And yeah, so what we've got here is the Book of Skelos, and let's assume these are the minions that the Overlord has under their control. This area here would be where they put their energy that they've got to use for a turn, and as they use energy, it'll go over to here, and at the end of the turn, they'll get 3 back. According to this symbol, let's see if it's different on the other side. And on the other side, it's got 7, so I'm assuming that different scenarios, different difficulties will use different sides of that. No, but the idea is that if the Overlord player wanted to activate the picked hunter here, it'd cost 1. And what would happen is they take this out after it's been activated, and it goes back to the end of the queue. So if they wanted to activate this picked hunter again, it now costs 6. So it prevents the Overlord player from using the same minions again and again. Because if he wanted to do so, he can, but it's going to cost him energy. Now, as he uses more minions, the cost of this one will become less, so it will come back round and it'll become cheap again. Another thing that I've noticed on the back is that once they're defeated, they flip over to show they've been defeated. Now, my assumption is that they don't get removed from this tract.
Oh, right, so they stay in the queue.
So they'll stay in the queue, which would be interesting. So it might well be strategic for heroes to maybe pick off a weaker minion. I don't know whether or not the heroes would have view of this, or whether it be hidden from the players, but my assumption is that they'll be able to see it on the tabletop. So they'll be able to see which ones are activating next and so on to try and pick them off, or at least which ones are going to be activated at the cheapest, and pick them off, and then they're going to obviously increase the cost of ones before it, because these would cost less if this was removed. So it might be advantageous for heroes to actually pick off as many models as possible to flip them over and
so you'd end up starting somewhere around here to try and pick these guys off, because then it's always going to cost more early on. Yeah,
I think that brings in some interesting strategies.
Yeah.
So we've got some more minion tiles down here. Some more tokens.
Lots of other tokens on this one. So I'm assuming these are all going to be like. Let me turn them around this way, so everyone else can see them. So you'll have like spiders' webs, different. So that'd be like a shadow demon, or you've got your guards there, or what would any of this stuff used for?
Honestly, not entirely sure until we obviously get it out on the table and start playing it. But yeah, there does seem to be a lot of tokens with this game. So these here are all treasure chests. Not sure what.
Yeah, so like on this one as well, there looks like there's going to be, there's some more treasure chests. You've got some terrain sort of thing, so your wooden spikes. You've got stairs. You've got more spikes. You've got
we've also got another one of those inserts for the Overlord tray.
That'd be interesting.
With 5 and
XX.
X. Oh, okay.
So that'd be quite interesting. So I don't know. You've got some other bits here as well, which I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
but we'll look at those when we
kind
get
of
there.
magic
portal type things. Well, I'm assuming that's a nailed shut well.
Yeah. Interestingly, it looks as if that middle pokes out and you can actually put that ring around the miniature.
Yeah, so it could be for like some of the summon stuff. I don't know, like a demon or something similar like that.
Some of the spells, but yeah, it looks interesting. And then finally, the last thing we've got left in the box. I've got some boards, so let's take them out and make some room.
That is huge.
Oh my word!
They're not even individual boards. It's like a full-on
fold-out board. Yeah,
it's a full fold-out board. This looks sort of something on par for what you'd play a small game of 40k on. Sort of board size, or at least like X-Wing, or...
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's probably, 3 foot by 3 foot, maybe? No, actually, no. It's about 2 foot squared, isn't it? Which is...
3 by 2, I would have thought this is.
No. It'll be... Yeah, it'll be 2 by 2. I know that, because this black mat is 3 by 3. So that looks to be a picked village, if I'm correct. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see it clearly.
It's absolutely awesome
on there, but it's not a traditional grid-based game as such, but there are grids to it. And you see these lines here, they actually mark off different areas. So this is an area here, this is an area here, and they've got areas inside buildings. We've got these dots in the middle.
I'm assuming they'll be for some of the other tokens that we saw before. So, like barrels, treasure chests.
It could be, but I mean, my assumption would be looking at the location, because they all seem to be centralised. I think that might be a way to draw a line of sight.
Yeah, could be.
So, to say that, have you got a line of sight for this area from here, I guess you'd have to draw a line of sight to there, but it's blocked by this hut, so no, you don't. I don't know.
I'm just thinking more because you've got some inside of buildings as well. So whether the scenarios that we'd end up playing through would dictate as to what's where. So whether there's sort of mystery markers.
Yeah, maybe.
Or like some of the other games that we've played.
Maybe. And on the other side,
all double-sided as well.
Oh, it looks to be some kind of
drinking hall of some kind, or
maybe
some sort of house, or
I think you're right. Actually, it looks to be a tavern. That's definitely a bar there. And then we've got another board here. This looks to be a castle on one side. So we've got a castle there, looking great. And I'm told there's some ships on the other side. Oh wow, look at that.
That is awesome.
How about that?
If we can play a first game, I want to play it on this.
You have 2 ships side by side, some board in action, make for some interesting games.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's all the contents out there. So we've got 2 double-sided boards. We've got lots of the monster tiles, tokens. We've got these rings to put on the bases. Over 70 miniatures. We've got the hero tiles, the Book of Skelos. And yeah, I think, as a base set, I think this is fantastic value for money. I'm not sure what its retail price is. I suspect in the UK it'll be somewhere around about the £80 mark, I would imagine.
Yeah, £70, £80.
Which is just fantastic value for money.
Considering what you get in it as well, and the quality of the card slab, the sort of tokens and just the boards themselves are absolutely awesome.
Now, I mean, I've been following this throughout its Kickstarter campaign and the long, arduous wait of almost 2 years now, and I say it's absolutely fantastic to have this product in hand, and I cannot wait for us to start playing it. But thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe, and we hope to see you again.